Lil Bob Broman Span. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but he well respected in Chicago. Gang leader. You know the rap game then spoke so much about GDs and BDs. You would think that's the only gang out here. Where the Four Corner Hustler gang leader by the name of Broman. You know, he was charged in a racketeering case, murder case, you know, all kind of shit, conspiracy, Rico charge. They locked him up and a whole bunch of other Four Corner Hustler gang members. He actually linked to a lot of shit in the rap game. Hit the like button. We finna talk about this. Goal on this video, 1,000 likes. You know, a lot of people don't know about him, but a lot of people do know when it comes to that street shit. He was real feared. He was a feared street hitman in the streets. The feds actually charged him with conspiracy. They say he was involved in up to 9 murders. They say 6 to 9 murders. They say he was behind the murder of rapper DMX close friend Kato. Kato is like a leader, like I believe, like the Latin Kings. If not the Kings, another Latin gang, but I do believe like the Kings. He was well respected. He was actually killed in like a paid hit, I believe, like in a barber shop or something like that, you know. The Fed said that, you know, Broman was behind this. He was the man that was behind killing DMX friend. You know, they say he was behind a lot of other murders and shit too. They say he was feared. While he was locked up, they said that he was still sending threats out and shit to the gang and shit like that. It's a lot of people who was locked up on his case. It's actually a few Glow Gang members that was locked up on this case. I believe Main Foci G ended up being locked up on this case too. But I think he came home. I think he on like what they call that shit at like one of them house arrest things. I think he's at like one of those centers and shit waiting to come home and things like that. But Broman, well known in the city, he was actually locked up for this shit. They locked him up. He was actually convicted. Okay, the jury listened to everything. He was actually convicted. He wasn't given his time yet, but in the feds, they do shit like that. They'll convict you and then sit on it for they sentence you and shit like that. But he's facing mandatory life sentences and shit like that. With some new news that came out about this guy, it seemed like the feds really wanted him locked up, that they went the extra mile and might have did some crooked shit while locking him up. As crazy as this sounds, you know. They had a lot of evidence against him, but the main evidence was one of his best friends, one of the guys locked up in this conspiracy, actually turned on him. You know, the state had a chance to flip him and shit like that. You know, they offered him a deal, 25 to 35 years in prison if you testify, tell the truth, and whatever the fuck happened, and the judge to take a light on you and shit like that from 25 to 35 years. So he did that. He cooperated. He told the judge exactly what happened, told the jury and shit. They convicted Broman off, you know, some of his testimony, which was real strong. You know, when it's time, they ready to start doing this sentencing and shit. Remember, they convicted him, but the sentencing ain't came. They ready to start doing this sentencing and shit and come find out. They didn't tell the guy who turned state that they gonna give him 25 to 35. Now to come to find out, they ain't tell him they gonna give him 25 to 35 years. They tell him, we gonna give you 25 years if you testify and tell us what happened. But they wrote on the paper, the sentencing shit, and not the sentencing shit, they wrote on the paper and they testified in court that it was 25 to 35 years to make it look like he wasn't given a good deal to do this shit. But in reality, they told him it's gonna be a guaranteed 25 years. You already been locked up, you're gonna end up doing 12 years, you'll come home. And tried to trick motherfuckers like that. Like, look, tell the truth. If y'all gonna lock up Broman, let them know that y'all gave this guy 25-year deal. He been locked up for a couple years. He gonna get time off, time served, get a GED, do all this shit. He'll be home in 13, 14 years. Y'all got to tell the people that shit. Don't lie and say, make it look like this guy's up here telling the truth because it's the goodness in his heart. And he was only offered 25 to 35 years. He don't know how long it can be. He just wanted to get the goodness off his heart. No, he got on that stand and told that shit because y'all said y'all was gonna give him 25 years. And y'all gotta do that shit. That don't mean that, you know, it's bogus, it's dirty. It just show you that that was crooked. So, you know, the judge ended up telling the gang leader, Broman, they end up telling him they gonna give him some time. Ain't this crazy? They gonna give him some time for his lawyers to put in a motion for a new trial. You know, the state of Chicago mad as hell out there. They feel like dude is a game banker, been blinking motherfuckers. Blah, 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 blah. He a shooter, he a killer, he a leader. People scared of him. And now y'all finna give him a new trial. But shit, the feds say, you know, They looked at this shit and there was something crooked about that. And they ain't gonna give him a new trial, but they gonna give him time for his lawyer to recommend for a new trial, put the motions in and shit like that. So that's crazy. So it looks like Broman Span might get an opportunity to come home, or he might get an opportunity for a new trial. And they gonna remember this shit in the new trial. So who knows? Is he coming home or not coming home, you know? I wanted to tell y'all that's a lot of shit going on in Chicago. A lot of people just know the drill rappers and shit like that. It's a lot of shit going on out here. But I wanted to bring to your attention, gang leader, Broman. They say they gonna give him a new trial because the prosecutor gave a deal out and didn't really tell the jury or nobody about this shit. It made it look like it was just a 25 to 35, you know, it's a possibility. But in reality, they told this guy, we're gonna give you 25 years. Man, it's crazy. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know what y'all think about that. It's the homie Truth.